Look, one thing does need to be said. Apple's M-powered stuff, where like they've designed their own chips to run out of their own garbage, they're romper stompers. This is my old M1 Max. Can't believe it's half a decade old this year. And I still use this. It still smashes. It truly is a beefy computer. If I sound a little bit hoarse, I just got back from Canada. It was so good meeting Bringus. You've seen our collab video, right? But with Apple now coming out with the Neo, you know the tech world sucks when Apple is now the voice of reason on a cheap, easy to get a hold of machine that doesn't stink. Also what, everyone should just get a MacBook now, huh? They designed everything in-house so it's the most efficient, the most everything, yeah? Game over, Apple's the only one left. Well, it's called macOS, and macOS is doing its death arc, right? It's just started to roll over like this before it does the big dive into the ground. Microsoft Windows has already smashed into the ground, and the only things that are airborne are the fragments flying in all directions. Windows 10 was never good. Well, macOS has now started to do that dive. Jeez, the last year's worth of updates, these have been getting slower and slower. Like, you can almost feel that Apple were like, whoops, we made the M1 too good, better start balking it so people think that they need to upgrade. I'm now officially to the point where these aren't allowed on the internet anymore. These make videos for me, right? That's their main job, and I'll happily just use them to 4K 60 edit stuff, send it onto a portable SSD, put it in a Linux box, and upload it onto the internet that way. Because seriously, I'm sick of watching these chug, and I'm pausing the chuggage. It's why you're not going to see a MacBook Neo video out of me. It just feels like a dead end. I don't see a future in macOS. You know, I still need a personal laptop for myself, and thankfully, there's a company to the rescue. Oh, look at this cutie patootie, huh? It's dirty because I've been using it. It really is a miserable time for tech. Like, please give us your kindest Toyota Corollances to just... Gosh, it is a miserable time. I really hope you folks are open-minded to me doing videos about nearly anything. I'm so glad the iSnack video did well. Oh, there's still some... Yeah, I touched it. Because it's rough. It's really rough. There is not much to really look forward to at the moment. But this thing is a shining light amongst the murky, fart-smelling, eggy darkness that is modern tech. What is this? This is a Framework 12. And now, if you haven't heard of Framework, I guess you don't watch much LTT videos. I mean, because that's how I learn about these things. You know, Linus is a personal investor, and once I tell you their shtick and what they're about, you might actually get excited about tech. Or at least this much of it. Framework, they've been very gradually increasing how many machines they make. I think they're up to 4. They got 3 laptops, the 12, the 13, and the flagship 16, and they do a desktop as well. And the whole shtick about it is not just repairability, but upgradability. I mean, for instance, if you bought a flagship Framework 16 years ago and you see that they've come out with new chips to upgrade it, you can buy the motherboard and just slot it straight in. Boom, have it. If you bought one and didn't get the extra graphics because you're like, I don't think I'll need it, I'll see how far I get, and you went, whoopsie, I really should have gotten the graphics, you can just buy it and add it. Boom, you've got graphics. Upgrade the storage. Upgrade the RAM. If it was a MacBook Neo, you have to bin it and get a whole other one. And in these miserable times where nothing's affordable anymore, it means you could buy second-hand storage, second-hand RAM. You could pull apart your old machine to add it to your new one. That's what makes building PCs just so... You know, people call me an Apple fanboy. It's just less worse than Microsoft, okay? I deface this for yous. I F this thing. And my M-powered MacBooks are still cranking. I mean, now that I've pulled the internet out of them and paused the rod, I still need a new personal laptop. The Gigabyte died, and so I took that money that I got back. And look, spoilers, I do have a Framework 16, but I need to sit with it for longer because you can do a lot of stuff with it, and I've got to work out all the angles. But instead of a MacBook Pro and an iPad, I got a Framework 16 and a Framework 12. And it is just such a great looking machine. Like, the proportions, it's a bit chunk, but in such an endearing way. It's plastic fantastic, but it's good plastic. Like, these edges are kind of like bumpers. Like, they're a little bit softer than the middle plastic. And I really like the Framework logo. And yeah, on the bottom, I mean, why are these different colors? We'll get to that. Look at this. They give you a little tool, huh? It's even got a magnet in it. Not only do they encourage you to pop this baby open, it's actually a requirement when you get the DIY version. Ready? Reveal! It's just a laptop in it. It's like, big deal. But watch this. I've undone those screws. You grab it here, and off it comes. You're under the bonnet, mate. We're in the gutty works. Look, pin connectors. Genius! You just clack it on and it works. Everything's got pull tabs. It's designed to be pulled apart. What's this? That's the RAM, baby. If I want more RAM, and I won't need more RAM, this is 16 gigs. Stick it in, clack it down, flip this flat back like it says. Ooh, that's where the storage goes. You notice there's no storage in it, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but that is where that goes. Look, you can upgrade the Wi-Fi. I love that the cooling fan has got the framework logo on it. Look, you can swap the speakers out if you ever blow them up. There's the headphone jack. They want you to be able to pop it open and just replace every single little bit. Ready? Keyboard's back on. You just do up the screws. Magical. This is just so much fun. This is exactly what I want from a laptop. Does your MacBook Neo have 1, 2, 3, 4 different ports? Huh? Didn't think so. And why are these different colors? Well, let me just clack them out. Ho 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 ho. These are just modules. You can slide in whatever you want. If you want all the USBs on one side and just like display outputs on the other side, you can do that. What is this, a blanking plate? Is that just to cover up one of the holes? No, I'll get to that in a bit. The range of stuff you can get is insane. I mean, you can get heckin' fun colored USB-C ones. HDMI out? How many do you want? Does your MacBook Neo have DisplayPort? DisplayPort! That's amazing! Full-size SD card. You can get micro SD ones, but I went for the full-size SD one because, you know, you can just use an adapter and do it. And this one, Ethernet. Doesn't that look like it's meant to plug into like a Nintendo 64? I love it! And there's no magic here. They're just USB-C dongles. You can use them with anything. I've used this with my MacBook Pro. Yeah, my MacBook Pro has display output. These are just fantastic dongles on their own. See, they protrude out a little bit extra. And all these are is just special bays, so they go clink and they don't go anywhere. As I said, you can have your USBs over on that side. Maybe that one's orange because it's fun, you know, and then I've got Ethernet and stinking DisplayPort, or maybe I'll replace that with a USB-A. Maybe I just want USB-A and that. They take seconds to flick out, so you can just have like a jacket pocket full of these things. At any point, you can just flip them out, put them in. There's nothing stopping you from just like double doinking them up. It's so good. This is such a good idea. And yeah, this blank one. What this is a 1 terabyte module. It's just a little portable SSD in a framework doink. The reason why I got it was because the price they were asking for a terabyte's worth of SSD storage was strangely reasonable. They had it discounted. And look, you just lock them in. There you go. Head to McPhony jack. Power button right there. There you go. See, there's your power light. Grills for your speakers. And I love this hinge. Look, you can go all the way flat. Okay. Oh no, my framework. Oh yeah, mate, she's running Bazite, which upsets hardcore Linux people because everything does. And to that, I just say, can you folks just chill out? You've already got your complicated distros where you can get to the kernel and muck around with it. You know, Festivus for the rest of us, all right? I couldn't care about the OS. I just want to do things on the OS. Oh, let's get some lights off. What am I doing? It's a laptop, innit? It's only a 12-inch screen, but you know, it's how you use it. So the magical thing about Bazite is they have a framework option, right? They're in cahoots. You can select that you're using a framework machine. I mean, Bazite does a fantastic job at telling you what your machine actually is. I love that it says it's a framework 12. And yeah, look, this is only a 13th gen i3. This is the least powerful one you can get. It's because of how I want to use this thing. Like, the i5 was only a little bit more powerful, and I just don't really need it, to be honest. It's only got the Intel graphics, the inbuilt one. You know, it's what it is. I mean, it's pretty crazy what the integrated graphics on an i3, you know, like a 13th gen, that came out several years ago. And like, this is on a laptop, a little Borkus one you can build yourself. It gets a little bit chuggy, but like, it's not a gaming machine. But you should see this thing run Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean it. Watch out, cyclists. Oh dear. Oh dear. So this amazing hinge, it doesn't end there, because watch this. You flip it right onto itself. It's now a tablet. And look, it even auto formats like the screen. And like, Bazite figured that out. And look, the back does nothing now. It turns that off, and you ready? You can option it with a stylus that matches it. I had to get the green one. And it's capacitive, so if you get close to the screen, like the mouse pointer will follow it, and then you touch to click to confirm. But you can just use it like this. You can just touch the screen. You don't have to use the stylus. It's surprisingly accurate. And that's how this thing is my iPad substitute. It is a tablet. And we can all agree that iPad OS is one of the worst OSs ever created, just one rung under like Windows 11. I don't use my iPads anymore. They can't do anything. They're borderline useless. And this is a full functioning machine. While I was in the hotel room, I loved watching content on it like this. I'd stand it up and just watch the screen like that, and then it can just breathe out the top without cooking itself. Well, hot dingus. This thing is seeming like one of the greatest machines ever conceived, with no downsides at all, which is a lie. There's honestly plenty of downsides. Cost. Mate, the MacBook Neo is an insane price. Way more power than this thing. A way better screen than this thing. Better trackpad, better keyboard, and it's like this thin for less money. Gosh, the siren song to go macOS nowadays is so loud. Speaking of loud, these fans. This isn't an ARM processor, it's x86. And even though it's a lower powered little doinkus nug, my goodness, it gets toasty. It gets warm. And it's interesting because that's the exhaust and that's the intake. And so I guess it would be getting on its own supply a little bit, but then also it means the bottom can be completely flat, and so it actually couches and sits on a bed quite well. Ooh, that storage module's getting hot because I'm running the whole machine through it. Why am I running the whole machine through it? I could just put an SSD into it. Well, the SSD this thing takes is a 2230, which is a little bonkers tiny one. That's one that basically no one has in stock because it's one of the most useless forms of SSD storage. It's perfectly cromulent as a storage medium, but it's just not popular. You know, you're not going to find people using them as much. Like an idiot, I didn't read the fine print when I spec'd this thing out, and I was like, I got heaps of M.2s. I don't need to get more storage. I'll utilize the stuff I've already got. And yeah, I popped this open, realized it needed that one. I didn't have it, but thankfully I did order this 1TB module, and it lets me boot straight out of it. And so that's why I'm using that. The display on this guy, you know, it's got the touch screen and it's fully replaceable and all that, but it is only 1080-60, which is what we'd call bare minimums nowadays. I'm fine with it. What I want to use this for, which is like note-taking, when I'm making videos, I can just have like dot points to the side of me. You know, my Framework 16 is going to be the mothership, and this is going to be the support nug, which is basically what an iPad is to a MacBook. But if you really care about like really crazy vibrant displays and whatnot, you know, this isn't it. MacBooks have some of the greatest speakers ever fitted to laptops. You know, if that offends you, sorry, not sorry. But it's true. MacBooks have insane speakers. Most of my videos are edited straight out of them on the trackpad. You're not going to do that with this. They're kind of quiet. They're just very mid. The keyboard's not bad. Trackpad's not bad. But, you know, the MacBook Neo is going to absolutely thrash this thing. But I don't give a stinking stink. I feel like I actually own this thing. If Framework people are watching, what I would really love as an upgrade path, if you do actually have an ARM-powered processor, like one of the Qualcomm ones, and you could sell it as like a replacement motherboard, and I can slot that baby into here and just have ARM computing. That would lift this thing so much. I still love the little 13th Gen i3. There's something fun about having a slightly bulky computer in this world where everything wants to be as fast as possible. It's very grounding, and honestly, it works fine. But the fact that there is the possibility of an upgrade path to a completely different processor architecture, and you can just slot it straight in, mate. Oh, and this isn't magnetic, and it just plugs in via like a regular whatever. So it's a little bit clunky with the flat spot. You're kind of hoping that it would like stick to it. But as far as I can work out, it doesn't, you know? It's just something that just comes with you in the bag, which isn't that big of a deal because you're probably bringing a whole bunch of these anyway, which are the most magical dingle-dongles I've ever used and literally can work with anything. So the title of my video still isn't a lie. You can keep your fancy MacBook Neo because this feels like a machine that's got a future. It's running Linux in a fully repairable chassis that has upgradability. Here in Australia, I did manage to find some 2230s, and amazingly, they're at the pre-inflated price, probably because no one's buying those 2230s. You know, so got really lucky there, and at some point, I'm going to pop it open and slot one in. But once that's done, honestly, This is a fantastic little nug. You know, I want to cook something in the kitchen, and I got the recipe up. I can just stand it up like a tent, like this. And it's so easy just to read the screen. I can blow all the heat at once out of here. The fact that it is just a touchpad, and I can just like walk around and scribble stuff on it and make quick handwritten notes effectively, even without the stylus. This is just a bonus. You can just use your finger. It works really well. And these frameworks come in more fun colors than the Neo anyway. I'm gonna get one for my mum. I'm gonna get the bubblegum one. It's gonna be sweet. And I love that these dongles work with anything. This thing was a lifesaver on my trip. I wanted to watch season 2 of 30 Rock, and I wanted to just buy it on YouTube and just have it like on my machine. And then Google wanted my government ID for that, despite the fact you can watch raw police camera footage of people just being right? That's not an issue. And the fact that my Google account is old enough to have a car license. I told them to stick it up them sideways. I brought my Apple Super Drive and brought DVDs to watch, and then just binge watch Trailer Park Boys, maybe my most favorite show of all time now. Propane, propane, time to start the flame. Ricky ruined my life, Julian. And I forgot to bring an A to C dongle for my MacBook, and I had one, and it worked perfectly. You know, modern tech's really doing a death arc where going back to DVDs felt like a massive level up. No logins, no internet, disc went in, I was watching it. So if you haven't seen this show, it's incredible. I mean, I had to understand my Canadian culture, and proof that I actually was in Canada. Where else would I get Wayne Gretzky socks, you know? So yeah, modern tech is miserable. And yeah, I really hope you're open-minded to all sorts of videos on this channel. I mean, I've got heaps of tech stuff, yeah, but, you know, I'm just gonna go for some stuff now. I'm through having like the fastest, most whatever computer. Now it's about stability and privacy. And frameworks running Linux do that. Are there faster laptops for less money? You stinking betcha. But what a magical buttery middle zone of repairability and accessibility. And you know, you find a budget nug with 4 USB-C ports that can be turned into anything. So go on, give them a smell. Give it a go. Like, I'm loving this thing. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to these names right here. These are my $10 floaties. You folks are the greatest. There's 1,200 videos on my float plane. 1,200 videos. $2.80 to get the cheap option, and you could just have all of it. You can download them as well. Anything to get people in there. Really thank you. Like, I don't have sponsors. I bought all this stuff myself, and that's how I like to do it. And you folks help me do it. And you know what, mate? I'll see you all next time. Well, it's nice coming back from Canada just to see that face. Because I'm never gonna see that snoot again. Frank? Frank, are you awake? I can't tell.